Welcome back, friends. Welcome to the second episode of The Last Lesson, written by Alphonse Daudet. In the previous class, we have seen the first 3 pages in the textbook, where Franz goes to the school. He is at the dread of being scolded because he has not studied his participles. Also, he is very reluctant to go to school because of the warmth outside, chirping of birds, Prussian soldiers drilling. On the way to school, he sees a crowd in front of the bulletin board, and when he reaches the school, he finds an entirely different atmosphere there. There used to be a commotion, usually bustle, sound, noisy atmosphere, but that day he finds complete silence. He used to make use of this commotion to cleverly get into the classes without being noticed by the strict teacher, Monsieur Hamel. When he enters the class, he finds Monsieur Hamel in his Sunday clothes. Monsieur Hamel wearing fine clothes indicates his nobility, his devotion to his duty, and his respect towards the subject that he is teaching and towards his homeland. Also finds the elders of the village sitting at the backbenches. Then the shocking announcement comes from Monsieur Hamel. He mounts the chair and announces that learning of French language is banned in the provinces of Alsace and Lorraine by the German authorities. Hamel's shocking announcement reveals the extent up to which the conquerors, Germans, are going to subjugate and control the people of Alsace and Lorraine. They not only control them as human beings, they also control their language, their only means of self-expression. Monsieur Hamel's words comes as a shocking treatment for Franz when he realizes that he knows only little French. He is even sorry to think that Monsieur Hamel, a very stern teacher, is leaving.
My last French lesson. Why, I hardly knew how to write. I should never learn anymore. I must stop there, then. So this is his feeling. Franz regrets for not being serious towards studies and for wasting his time in hunting birds' eggs and playing swimming in the Saar River. Saar River is a river in Alsace. Then what he thinks, my books that had seemed such a nuisance a while ago, so heavy to carry, my grammar book and my history of saints, these are the subjects that he studies, were old friends now that I could not give up. So he feels a kind of attachment to his books and his subjects at that time. And Monsieur Hamel too. The idea that he was going away, that I should never see him again, made me forget all about his ruler and how cranky he was, how ill-tempered he was. He forgot everything about the teacher. He didn't have a good opinion about the teacher before, now, but everything changes. This paragraph gives plenty of chance for questions to be asked. So you have seen many questions were asked in the previous years by CBSE. So all the questions, these questions have got the same meaning. How did Franz react to the declaration that it was their last French lesson? What announcement did Hamel make? What was the impact of this on Franz? So these are the questions. So when you answer this question, you have to start like the French teacher announced that he would be teaching his last French lesson that day, because the order had come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. On hearing this, all the students as well as Franz felt very sorry that he could no longer be learning their mother tongue in future. So Franz regretted for not having learned his lessons. Earlier his books seemed a nuisance to him, but at that moment they came very dear to him. He also started to like his teacher, whom he hated once. So this is the answer. This answer should start from the previous paragraph onwards. So this paragraph is very important.
Then he realizes the purpose of the villagers, the elders coming to the school and sitting at the backbenches. It was to honor this man, this poor teacher, who rendered his service for 40 years in the school. They are sitting there also to show their respect towards their homeland that is in the hands of Germans now.
Poor man. It was in honor of this last lesson that he had put on his fine Sunday clothes. And now I understand why the old men of the village were sitting there in the back of the room. It was because they were sorry too, that they had not gone to school more. It was their way of thanking our master for his 40 years of faithful service and of showing their respect for the country that was no more theirs. So now France knew that Monsieur Hamel was wearing the best dress in honor of that last lesson. He also realized that the village man had come to pay respect and thank Monsieur Hamel for his 40 years of service. So this 40 years, remember 40 years for exam point of view, I am stressing it. The village men came there, they also because they were repenting for not have studied well in their childhood. Also they wanted to show respect to their country and were sad as their mother tongue, French, would no longer be taught to them. And this question was asked in 2014 All India and 2014 compartment and 2008 foreign. Who were sitting on the backbenches during Monsieur Hamel's last lesson and why? Or why were the elders of the village sitting in the classroom? So this was asked several times. So study these points very clearly. They were sitting there because it was their last French lesson. The villagers had come there to attend his lesson as it was their way of paying respect to the master. That is first thing, last lesson, then paying respect to master and showing respect for the country that was not theirs.
Monsieur Hamel calls France to recite his participles, but as a very weak student, as a mediocre student, he is not able to do that. More than ever, he is ashamed that he has not learned his lessons. He stands to recite, but he stumbles on certain words. His sadness is not only because he was not able to recite the participles and not showing respect towards the country as a citizen.
While I was thinking of all this, I heard my name called. It was my turn to recite. What would I not have given to be able to say that dreadful rule for the participle all through, very loud and clear, and without one mistake. But I got mixed up on the first words and stood there, holding onto my desk, my heart beating and not daring to look up. So Monsieur Hamel called his name to recite about participles. Okay, now his eagerness to study has grown. He wanted to recite the topic in one go and without any mistake and please his teacher. But he did not know the lesson, so he got confused and stood quietly. His heart was beating as fast as he was ashamed of himself and did not have the courage to face his teacher.
Monsieur Hamel doesn't scold France here. It is worthy noticing this, but he uses the inability of France to speak to the crowd about how they neglected their studies, how the entire village neglected their studies. Now these Prussian occupiers can mock at them very easily, telling that they do not know their own language.
I heard Monsieur Hamel say to me, I won't scold you, little France. You must feel bad enough. See how it is. Every day we have said to ourselves, bah, I have plenty of time. I'll learn it tomorrow. And now you see where we have come out. So here where we have come out means now you see what is the result, what is the outcome. So Monsieur Hamel is not scolding France, but using it to talk about the importance of French language or where they lacked. That is a great trouble with Alsace. She puts off learning till tomorrow. Now those fellows out, they will have the right to say to you, how is it? You pretend to be Frenchman, and you can neither speak nor write your own language, but you are not the worst, poor little friends. We have all a great deal to reproach ourselves with. Reproach means blame. So he is consoling friends, telling that this is not only his problem, this is the problem with the entire province of Alsace. Everyone does, everyone postpones their studies for the next day. So this is the scope of a question. I will discuss the question after the next paragraph. The first part of the answer to that question is highlighted here in yellow.
M. Hamel continues to blame the parents. First it was the students, then the parents, for not sending their wards to schools, instead sending them to work outside to earn some money. And thirdly, he blames himself for procrastinating their studies, for doing his leisure works like fishing, and also sending them for gardening. So he blames students, parents and himself.
Your parents were not anxious enough to have you learn. They preferred to put you to work on a farm or at the mills so as to have a little more money. And I have been to blame also. Have I not often sent you to water my flowers instead of learning your lessons? And when I wanted to go fishing, did I not just give you a holiday? So he tells that Fran's parents were not interested in getting him educated. They wanted him to work at a farm or a mill to earn some money. And also he tells that as a teacher he was also not interested in teaching them. He would often send them to his home to water the plants, or sometimes he would declare a holiday to go for fishing. So this is an important part. A question was asked. In the answer you have to elaborate how he blames the students, the parents and himself.
Then Monsieur Hamel goes on to speak about the beauty of French language. He encourages the villagers, the entire class, to guard French language, because he tells when a people are enslaved, their mother tongue is the key to their prison. Monsieur Hamel's great love of his language and his subject is reflected in the praise that he lavishes on the language. And then he highlights the importance of the link between language, identity and freedom.
Then from one thing to another, Monsieur Hamel went on to talk of the French language, saying that it was the most beautiful language in the world, the clearest, most logical, that we must guard it among us and never forget it. Because when a people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had the key to their prison. Here, in this part, he praises their mother tongue, French language, as being the most beautiful, clearest and most logical language in the world. He tells them to guard their language because it holds the key to the prison of slavery. And then he opened a grammar and read us our lesson. I was amazed to see how well I understood it. All he said seemed so easy. So easy, I think too, that I had never listened so carefully, and that he had never explained everything with so much patience. So he understood everything and he explained everything very beautifully. It seemed almost as if the poor man wanted to give us all he knew before going away, and to put it all into our heads at one stroke, at once, in one go. And the questions that can be asked, that are asked: what shows Monsieur Hamel's love for the French language? Answer is there in this part. And another one: what did Monsieur Hamel tell them about the French language? What did he tell them to do and why? So same answer for both the questions, and this answer is there in this part.
What do you think? Do we need to preserve our language? Do we need to stress on our mother tongue, learning our mother tongue? We have some students registering their opinion on this issue.
I'm Nandini of class 12A, and I want to share my opinion about how important it is to preserve one's native language. One's native language helps him or her reconnect with the roots wherever he or she is. It's equally important to preserve both verbal as well as written scripts as they're two sides of the same coin.
I am Maheshwaran of class 12B. One's native language is not only their identity, but it is also their resistance against the oppressor.
I am G. Shraddha of class 12A. According to me, language is the essential medium of communication without which the human species cannot survive. The most important language is one's native language. It connects us to our roots and sets us apart from others.
I'm Kritika Gehlot. It is high time that people understand that only a person's culture, language, and tradition will truly make them stand out and enhance their character. Since the native language runs deep within every single person's blood, and the only thing left is to tap the resources and make the best out of it to come closer to our own culture.
I am Anish. When a language dies out, future generations lose a vital part of the culture that is necessary to completely understand it. This makes language a vulnerable aspect of cultural heritage, and it becomes especially important to preserve it.
I'm Priyanandini. A vernacular language does not only serve as a medium to communicate our thoughts, but it also speaks our identity, our root, and our culture. Our literature reflects our history. It is important to each and every one of us to preserve our native language and contribute to the growth of it.
I'm Nivedita of 12A. Not speaking or knowing one's native language is like losing one's own identity. Even history has proved the importance of native language when Tenali Rama played a trick to unmask the originality of a cunning scholar. A child can learn a cut above when he learns through his native language. So take pride to explore your native language. Thank you.
Thank you, friends. Now we will move on to the portion where Mercy Hamel speaks about the beauty of his language and the importance of mother tongue. Language not only constitutes cultural identity, it constitutes its very essence. Without language, those who are subjugated, subdued, cannot hold their identity, that thereby cannot get back their freedom. Then the teacher proceeds to teach French lesson, first grammar, then writing. This time Franz realizes that he understands everything very clearly. When you learn with interest, you will understand it better. This is exemplified here. Franz's concentration and grasp of French lesson reflects that for the first time in his life, he is devoting himself completely to learn this language. Finally, he has come to understand the value of his own language. When you lose something, you realize the value of it. So both Monsieur Hamel and Franz and everyone there, everyone present there, are realizing the value of their language, their identity, and their freedom on that last day.
After grammar, we had lessons in writing. That day, Monsieur Hamel had new copies for us, written in a beautiful round hand. France, Alsace, France, Alsace. So that was written on the copies. Then they looked like little flags floating everywhere in the schoolroom, hung from the rod at the top of our desk. So these words, Alsace and France, even though it was not written on flags, he felt that they were celebrating these words, Alsace and France. You ought to have seen how everyone set to work and how quiet it was. The only sound was the scratching of the pens over the pen. All very, very attentive, and all were doing the works very patiently. Once some beetles flew in, but nobody paid any attention to them, not even the littlest ones, who worked right on tracing their fish hooks as if that was French too. So here beetles, small insect, and not even the littlest ones refers to pigeons sitting on the top, and then who worked right on tracing their fish hooks, pigeons scratching their claws. It means pigeons scratching their claws, which are used for hooking fish from the river. On the roof, the pigeons cooed very low, cooed sound, making the sound. And I thought to myself, will they make them sing in German? Even the pigeons? Even the pigeons would be made to speak German? So a question was asked based on this in 2011 All India. France thinks, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons? What does this tell about the attitude of Frenchmen? So answers given here, you can write it in your notebook. This shows that the Frenchmen were full of hatred and fear for the Germans. Besides, they were anxious of their future under German hands. They thought that they would be forced to learn German and no one would be spared. So that is the answer.
After the grammar lesson, they proceed to writing, where Monsieur Hamel tells the students to write the words Alsace, France, Alsace, France. It indicates teacher's intention of instilling a sense of patriotism in the minds of the students and others. This exercise functions not only to improve their writing skills but also to challenge the Prussian claim of Alsace by connecting Alsace to France. Alsace, France means Alsace is a part of France. In this way, the students are guided to express their patriotic fervor, allegiance to France. This patriotic feeling shown by Monsieur Hamel in the mind of France makes him think that whether the Germans would make the pigeons to sing in German. So that is the end of today's lesson. I request you to write the word meanings, difficult word meanings in your notebook, and write these questions and answers in your notebook. Tomorrow we will see the last part of this lesson and also the analysis and question answers. I hope you enjoyed today's lessons. Thank you.